All right, today we're going to be checking out some brand new seats. Well, brand new seats to me from Weilianda or Weilianda. I'm not really sure how to say that, but they sent me two seats to check out. So as you can see, I'm already sitting in one. I've got one unboxed. I'm going to unbox the other one for you, and then I'm going to, tell you how to set it up. It's pretty simple. You set it up just like you do Valencia seats, and then I'll, go over what I think about them. Because I have Valencia seats in my theater. These are going to be staying out here in the living room. But yeah, let's go ahead and get this open and show you what they look like. All right, so you want to be very careful when you're doing this. I would highly recommend probably using like some type of knife that it's not going to puncture the seats. So this does come in one complete box. So it's going to come in two parts. You're going to have your seat back here on top, and then below that you're going to have your seat. Again, be very careful when you're cutting the tape so you don't cut the actual chair. So when you open it up, you'll have the backrest. So you've got the backrest, and you've got your little diamond pattern, diamond stitched, I guess you could say. So on the back, you've got your little flap here. You've got some Velcro on the back, which will Velcro to the bottom of the seat. And then you've got your headrest that's going to, electronic headrest that's going to move up and down. So we're going to set this to the side and get the bottom part out. So the best way to do this is probably to get somebody to help you. It's just me by myself. So it's pretty easy. I mean, it's going to take a little bit longer. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rip this box up apart. The seat is already upright, so you don't have to take it out and flip it. You can basically just cut the box open and then slide the seat cushion right out. And then, pretty much all that's left to do is pop in the backrest, plug up the cord, and, fire it up. Okay, so now that we got this unboxed, you'll be left with the base. And pretty much all that's left to do is to take the backrest and put it onto the actual chair, the cushion. So there's two metal rods here that the backrest is going to snap into place. It's pretty easy if you've seen. So these are eerily similar to Valencia seats in many ways. Some ways they're different. So it's pretty much exactly the same. You just take the back chair, you line it up, you pop it in place, you wait till you hear it click. You should hear 2 clicks, and then it'll be in place. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, so we got that popped in, and as you can see, the chair is almost done. So we just need to connect the power cords. That's pretty simple. You got your power cord here, and then there's a little connector in the back. You've seen it numerous times. I'm out of breath. You've seen it numerous times on many different channels, so I'm not going to show you that part. It's pretty easy. It's pretty self-explanatory. But we've got some armrests here that open up, and inside you will find a table tray. So let's open this up. So inside you get your Weilianda little guide with your drop down table. And then inside you'll also get this little rod that will screw into the table so that you could put the tray in there, and then you get a little wrench. So I'm going to screw this in. And you pop this into the little slot. Now, what's actually kind of cool about these table trays are a little bit different from Weilianda. They have this little cup holder that pops out. So you'll notice that when you put your table tray in here, it always blocks the cup holder, and that's one thing that I've always been annoyed at with all the seats, even my Weilianda seats. It always blocks the cup holder, and I was like, man, I wish there was some way to add an additional cup holder. Well, they did it. So now you have a cup holder right here. You can put your drink in here. Now, I wish that it was on the other side. This to me just seems kind of like it's going to get in the way, but hey, at least that they offer that. And then if you don't want that, you can just flip it underneath. So I really like that. I think that's something that, you know, these other chairs can kind of take note of. Again, I would like for this to be on the other side, but you know, it's not that big a deal. So you have that, and then you've got your, you know, your armrest, and you've got some space in here where you can keep some remotes. Now, one thing I'll say about these is the storage is not as wide as something like, you know, the Weilianda. With the Weiliandas, you can set this table tray in there and it'll fit, but it's not wide enough to put this in here. Let me flip it around. Yeah, it's not wide enough. So, like I said, there are some similarities, but there are some differences. Pop that down. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to join these two chairs. I went with the love seat chairs just because this is going to be out in the living room. And, you know, I'll plug them up and then I'll show you everything else with the lights and the cup holders and the controls on the inside. All right, so let's talk about controls. So on the inside, you've got two buttons with, you know, technically there's 4 buttons. There's 2 main buttons, and then each button has, you know, well, let me just tell you. So you have your first button is going to be your headrest, and I'll show you here in a minute. So you've got one button, and then you've got your recline, decline, and then you've got your button for the seating, so you can, you know, recline, decline, you know, the backrest and your feet. And then you've got a power on for the cup holder. So let me take this off so you can see. So you've got the cup holder here that turns on the light, and then it also turns on the bottom, the light on the bottom of the chair. So this is blue. I believe this is the only color that it comes with. I don't see any way to change it. So, you know, it's pretty basic. It's not one of those ones where you can cycle through the colors. You just have your on and off. One thing I wish that these chair companies would do is they would allow for separate controls for the cup holder and the light at the bottom. I don't mind having the light on in the cup holder, you know, during a movie, because I like to see where my cup is. Obviously, I know where my cup is, and it's pretty, you know, muscle memory, but I kind of just like having that little light. Doesn't really light up the room too much. However, the light at the bottom is going to light up the room, especially if you recline, you know, and it's open, the light shines onto, if you're using this in a theater room. In a living room setting, may not be that big of a deal. And then you've got your USB-C and USB, looks like it's a type USB 2.0. So if I recline, I can get pretty comfortable, and that's where it stops. Now you'll notice that my head is looking directly pretty much at the ceiling. The TV is right in front of me. If I want to watch TV, I can adjust the headrest, and now I don't have to strain my neck. I don't have to do this. I can just lay back, and if I want to scoot back a little bit, that's perfect. I can see the TV directly in front of me, and then if I want to push it back, you'll see that again, my head is pretty much looking at the ceiling. And then if I want to put it back up, now there is no memory button or, you know, home button like on some of the higher end Weiliandas. I don't know if they have any higher end seats that will do that, but you basically just have to hold down on the button for whatever you want. There's no memory setting, so you can't set this and then hit a button and then it's going to remember your settings. This is pretty basic controls for the chair. Now, a couple of things that I don't like, maybe I wish that was different. So I got the love seat option, and I specifically asked for the love seat option because I knew I was going to be putting these out in the living room. I had a 3-chair couch before. That's just one piece. I decided to do something a little bit different, save a little bit of space. I don't have people over that much. Hardly anybody comes over and sits in these seats or sits in the living room. So I figured, let me get some love seats. And the couch that I had before was open anyway. There was no armrest in the middle, so it's not like I was missing anything. But I decided to not go with the armrest. Decided to go with the love seat. However, I was expecting the seats to be able to join together. And as far as I can tell, the seats do not join together. So like, with my Weiliandas, you've got those teeth at the bottom where you push the seats in and it joins and they stay together. So when you sit down, it doesn't move. These, they don't have that, as far as I know. I looked at the bottom and I was pretty shocked. I was like, oh, I can't, join these seats together. I don't know if that's just the way that they designed them because they're love seats and they figured they don't need to be, I guess together or joined together. However, I was expecting that and I would like that. I've already noticed a couple times when I've sat down, the chair has moved a little bit, like this one. When I sat down in it, it kind of moved up a little bit. When you're sitting in it, it's not going to move. But if you're, maybe a heavier person, maybe weigh more than I do. I weigh about 229. I'm 6'1", 229. So, if you have kids or something, or, pets that come and they sit down and all wear it, they're probably going to move. So I wish they would fix that. Again, I don't know if that's just because of their love seats and they just don't have them to where they do that. Maybe if you got a seat that had an armrest and you join two and you have two of them, maybe they'll join together. I don't know. This is my first experience with Weilianda. So yeah, that's one thing I kind of don't like. And again, the lighting, and I have this issue with my Weilianda seats as well. I wish they would make it to where you could either dim the lights and have separate controls for the lighting of the cup holder and the light at the bottom of the seat. Because again, when you raise when you open up the seat and you're reclined, it's shining a blue light or whatever light is, if you have different color lights. And the only way to turn it off is to hit the off button. But if you want to keep them on during the movie, if you have, seating and people get up, you want to be able to see where your seat is, they should be able to give you an option to where you can dim them to 1%, and it's not going to affect the quality of your screen or your image. The leather feels pretty good. They don't feel as great as my Weilianda seats, but the leather feels really soft. It's very comfortable. They don't feel uncomfortable. I will say, sitting in them upright, just like this, they do feel a little less comfortable than my Weiliandas. But again, these aren't uncomfortable to sit in. I just noticed that I like to sit a little bit more reclined in an upright position. These just feel like they're a little bit more straight. And I wish the storage was a little bit wider. I can fit a remote in here. I believe my remote is in here. So yeah, I can fit my remote, I can fit a phone, a tablet, but it's very narrow. And then I've noticed, there's a little bit of play in between the seat cushion and the armrest. Not too much. So I don't know, how long these are rated to last. But, the Weiliandas feel like they're a little bit better quality. Again, these are solid seats. These are my first time using Weilianda. But, in my experience, since I actually have Weilianda seats, I think the Weilianda seats are built a little bit sturdier, a little bit better. But if you're somebody that wants to, save some cash, you don't want to go, really high end with Weilianda, I think these are going to do more than enough. I think these are going to be solid. But again, if you're putting these in a high traffic area, people are going to be using these a lot. Again, the love seats that I have, they don't join together, so I don't know how long they'll last. but they're definitely better than what I had before. I just had a basic, you know, 3-seat couch that I got from The Dump, and that is what the name of the store is here in Houston. There's a place called The Dump, and you know, I just got them when I first moved in. My cat tore them up, and I do have some seat covers that I bought specifically because I do have a cat, I do have a pet. So if you want to take care of your stuff, you know, and extend the longevity, I would highly suggest, if you have pets, especially cats, the cats that like to jump, then, you know, I do have those that I will be putting on these. But I think that's it, man. You know, thank you, Welianda, for sending these seats out to me for review. I do get to keep these seats in exchange for your review. You know, we've got comes with a tray table, so you know, I can put this in here, and then I can, you know, put my food on here, snack. You've got your cup holder that you know, swivels out, because you know, this is going to be blocking the actual cup holder. Oh, and the cup holder does also come out, so if you need to clean it, if it gets dirty, you can take this out. This is pretty hard plastic. You can probably put this in a dishwasher. I'm not sure if it's dishwasher rated, so don't quote me on that, but it does come out. You can clean it, and then you just pop it back in. So I think that's going to conclude it for this video. Let me know in the comments if you guys have any experience with Weilianda. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but if you guys have any experience with them, let me know. I'll try to leave some links down in the comments if you guys want to purchase these seats or any other seats from Weilianda. And that is going to conclude it for this review of these seats, and I will see you guys in the next video.